Hmm.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the webinar on all about limited insolvency examination by transition. Today, as guest speaker, we have with us Mr. Ashish Makhija, who has joined us from United States. As you may be aware, friends, Transition is at the forefront for providing online training programs for limited insolvency professionals and others. It also provides online classes for aspirants of limited insolvency examination. You would also be aware, friends, that Transition is the first and the only company to offer online practice exams with a chance to review answers for limited insolvency examination and valuation examination. This has helped many in shaping their careers. Transition is also an ACE publisher with many publications, one of which has become the bestseller, that is Analysis of Cases for Limited Insolvency Examination by Mr. Ashish Makhija. Before I introduce our guest speaker for today, let me inform you all with some rules that have to be followed by us during this webinar. During the webinar, please keep your microphones muted to have a better experience. Participants are requested to ask questions through chat box only. It is recommended that participants attend the webinar from a quiet environment. It is also advised the participants may use headphones or earphones for the webinar for better audibility. It is also advised that participants may close all other applications while attending the webinar. In case anyone gets disconnected in between, they can click on the same link and join again. I now introduce our faculty, Mr. Ashish Makhija. Mr. Makhija bears top credentials in the subject of insolvency and bankruptcy law and corporate law, amongst others. He has served as the standing counsel for official liquidator attached to the High Court of Delhi. He is also an insolvency professional. He is one of the finest and renowned faculty for limited insolvency examinations, and people across India have attended his seminars, which has helped him immensely. He is a leading practitioner in the field of insolvency, corporate laws, and commercial litigation. He has authored 14 books on the subject of insolvency law and corporate law. His book, Analysis of Cases for Limited Insolvency Examination, 4th edition, published by Bloomsbury and Transition, is one of the top sellers, which is primarily meant for the aspirants of limited insolvency examination. He has also authored IBC Case Digest, published by Bloomsbury, Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code of India, published by LexisNexis, which is a comprehensive section-wise commentary on IBC, amongst others. With this, I now request Mr. Makhija to start with today's proceedings.
Okay, thank you, Anurag, and welcome to all the participants to this free webinar on all about limited insolvency examination. Well, friends, all of us have always wanted to have another career alternative. Well, during this period of particularly COVID pandemic, we have ample time at our hand. So what is the best way to spend that time? Of course, we are working from home, we are servicing our clients from home itself, but we can also enhance our knowledge and the academic information, and also writing, you see, insolvency professional against your name. I think that will really will do the best thing to you. Well, I have already mentioned in many seminars, many webinars, that one should look forward to this kind of a career in limited insolvency examination by becoming an insolvency professional. It is not too late. Why? Because the syllabus as of today, which you have to study, has not been updated. So what you have to study is the syllabus is up to 30th June 2019. So whatever the laws which are there, including insolvency and bankruptcy code rules and regulations, you will have to study only up to 30th June 2019. Well, if you don't think that you can, want to pass the exam now, but then be prepared if the syllabus is increased tomorrow, and many other cases may also be added. In fact, in IBC itself, part number 3, which which talks about individual insolvency. Now that has not been notified in a greater part. It has been notified for limited people like personal guarantors to corporate debtors. And there are 4 rules and regulations which have also been notified, but they are not in your syllabus because they were notified after 1st July 2019. So friends, take my suggestion and read this, pass this exam now. I think you will really be doing, you see, a favor to yourself. That's what I can say. Now, coming to the most important question is that what is the eligibility requirement for passing this exam? The eligibility requirement is that first you will have to pass limited insolvency exam. And for that, IBBI says that any chartered accountant, company secretary, cost accountant, or advocate with 10 years membership. And I'm repeating my word, 10 years membership. It is not any kind of an experience. That means you do not have to hold simply that I'm holding certificate of practice, so only then I'm able to, I'm qualified or eligible. No, it is just simply your membership. So please make sure that you have maintained your membership with any of these institutes. Whether you were in service, whether you are in practice, it does not really matter. So this is very important. The only aspect is that those people who are working somewhere, those who are employees, once they pass this exam, before they register themselves as an IP insolvency professional, they will have to leave their employment. But those chartered accountants, company secretaries, cost accountants, and advocates who are in practice as any of their profession, well, they can continue their practice as a CA and other professional, and can also practice as an IP, because this has been permitted by all the institutes, including Bar Council of India. So therefore, if you are in practice, you can pass this exam and you can also practice as an IP. So besides writing as an advocate or chartered accountant, you can also write insolvency professional. Well, imagine if insolvency professional is written in your business card. Well, it will give you confidence and it will give trust to the other people that they can really rely upon you. So this is very important, friends, that do it. And right now we are mostly under lockdown. I mean, I will not say lockdown, but in any case, we are protecting ourselves. Our offices are not working are not fully operational to that extent. And we have got ample time at our hand to study. What is the best way to utilize this time to become an insolvency professional? But what you need is a focus study. Now, focus study means that the main question which is generally asked to me is which book I should refer. Well, friends, I would say that you do not require any book. Just look at the syllabus. The syllabus gives you certain weightages. It is divided into 10 parts. The first 2 parts, if you look at, they talk about insolvency and bankruptcy code and rules and regulations. Up to 30th June 2019. The weightage is 40%. Now, if 40% weightage goes to IBC, well, you will have to study IBC. There is no alternative. Then comes certain allied laws, like Companies Act, Limited Liability Partnerships Act. There, it has got a weightage of 8%. Then there are many other commercial laws like Indian Contract Act, Negotiable Instrument Act, Sale of Goods Act, and 7-8 laws which are mentioned there, again with a weightage of 7%. Then we have the banking kinds of laws like recovery of debts due to banks and financial institutions, SARFAESI, and Arbitration Act, Limitation Act, and 4 SEBI regulations are there. Again, their weightage is around 7%. So even allied laws have got a huge and a good weightage. And you have to read only from the bare acts. You don't need any book. You don't need any commentary for that purpose. But if you look at the last 3 parts of the syllabus, so what I suggest you is download syllabus, go to IBBI's website. You will find a tab, examination tab is there. If you hit that tab, you will find limited insolvency examination. Click 1st July 2019, download the syllabus from there. Syllabus should be your starting point. If you look at the syllabus, the last 3 parts, 7, 9, and 10, now they are again talking about insolvency and bankruptcy code. That means case laws. Now, case laws have got huge weightage. Each question is of 2 marks each. Now, if a question is of 2 marks each, I always tell people that these are the must attempt questions. So please concentrate on case laws. You can easily score 10 marks out of 10 marks. And if you do that, imagine, if you have to score 60 marks, you have already scored 10, Now you have to score 50 marks out of the rest of the syllabus. So that makes your task easier. So it is more of a matter of strategy. Then the part number 9 talks about the case studies. Now, case studies are also very important, which is based on not only on law, plus also on the case laws, which is there. One case study comes from part number 2, which is corporate insolvency and liquidation. And one case study comes from part number 3, which is individual insolvency. Well, individual insolvency is not notified, so it is more theoretical in nature. But part 2 case study, and it also has a very high weightage. 6 questions are asked of 2 marks each. So along with the case laws and case studies, imagine 10 marks plus 12 marks, 22 marks. And out of 22, if you are able to score, say 18, I'm just saying that you are leaving some questions. So 18 or 16 marks. Imagine now out of 60, you have scored 16. Rest, you will have to score 46, 44 marks out of the rest of the syllabus. So that actually really makes the job very, very easy. I will not suggest leaving any of the portions. It is very important that you should study everything from the bare acts, and that becomes easy also to pass the exam. Now,
We have
another thing which is, yes, Anurag.
in the private chat box says, what is the pass percentage for passing the examinations?
Okay. Yeah, that's right. I was coming to that. This examination is a multiple choice question, which contains 100 marks. And since I mentioned to you that there are certain 2 marks question and some are 1 mark question, the breakup is like this. 78 questions are of 1 mark each, and 11 questions are of 2 marks each. So that means 78 plus 22 is equal to 100. Now, what is the pass percentage, which the question you asked? Pass percentage is 60%. So you will have to score minimum 60% to pass this exam. But the only difficulty sometimes people face is the negative marking. There is a negative marking and you should be aware of that. And negative marking is 25% for the wrong answer. That means if it is a 1 mark question, 0.25 will be deducted. If it is a 2 mark question, half mark will be deducted. And I have seen many people who have actually scored 59.75 because they actually scored 62, but because of the negative marking, they came below 59.75. Imagine you score 59.75 or 59.5 or 58 also. You come back and IBBI tells you that this is the result because the result is instant, it is an MCQ. Well, look at your confidence, where it goes. It drops down almost 50% if that happens. It's not only heartbreaking, but it is confidence breaking also. So friends, what I suggest is prepare well, go for this examination, you see, with greater confidence, and try to pass it in first attempt. And that's not difficult. In fact, there are a lot of trainings which I have done through transition only, where people have attended programs and they have been able to pass these exams in first attempt, and that too with a very, very high score. So, in fact, I just heard, you see, last week that one of the persons scored 80.5% after attending that training, those sessions. Some people have scored 75, 73, 74, 76, and highs of 60s also. No one has scored just on the margin of 60 plus or something. So what we target is, of course, we try to mentor those people also, so that, and it is easy to score. I mean, if you know how to score it, you go with a strategy. So negative marking is something, friends, which you really need to take care about it. So Anurag, if there are any questions, you can just let me know so that.
Yes, sir. There is a question in the chat box. Is there a strategy to clear the exam in first attempt?
Yes, the strategy, I told you, it starts with the syllabus. Strategy is not to leave the part of the syllabus. Strategy is to focus where and to study from which part. So if you look at the syllabus, I had explained to you the syllabus in a broader term. 40% plus, if you look at the last 3 parts, it's 26 marks. So 40 plus 26, 66% is devoted only to IBC and its rules and regulations. So your strategy starts from here. Can you leave IBC rules, regulations, case laws? Answer is no. You will have to concentrate more on that part. Then, of course, we have got allied laws and finance and accounts and general kind of things, which is 34 marks. Well, some people say that 34 marks, you see, you can really leave that portion. Well, if you leave that, you will not be able to pass. So I will not suggest. And in any case, what happens is if you study allied laws, it helps you once you become an IP also. That is very, very important. Okay. Okay. I can see a few questions. Anurag, can you help me in questions chat box?
Yes, sir. Vineet ji is asking, sir, do discuss which of the 3 modules to choose for the next group.
Which of the
modules to choose for the next group?
What do you mean by modules? Okay, he's talking about the training modules.
Which are there, which we take for
Okay.
limited examination.
Okay. So let me explain. I think let me change this slide. Yeah, friends, these are the 3 modules which I think probably he's asking about short IP limited insolvency exam training. Now this is the calendar which is being displayed on your screen. Transition has actually designed a very good program where I'm the faculty. I'm so happy to be associated with Transition, and we have been extremely successful. One is a signature module, which is for 6 days now. And in these 6 days, we cover broadly the entire syllabus, particularly IBC in a very, very greater detail, along with rules, regulations, and also how to study case laws, allied laws, and the other parts which are there. So it actually gives you a very good broad overview, and also the tips and the strategies are also mentioned during all these days. Plus certain charts are given so that, like, somebody is also asking in the chat box how to memorize. I'm not good at memorizing. So memorizing is required to be done in a manner where you are able to do it. So like I sometimes people ask me, and the question is also asked in examination, schedule number 3, which is attached to IBC, relates to which amendment in which law, which act? Well, if you have not remembered it, you have not memorized it, you are not able to answer. But it is very easy. Like I simply say, remember the word 32, 44, 61. Now 32 is basically nothing. It is 1932. 1932, which act came in 1932? Probably most of you will remember Partnership Act. 1944, which act came? Central Excise Act. 1961, well, can any chartered accountant forget that? Income Tax Act. So first 3 schedules you can remember like this: 32, 44, 61. So if a question comes, third schedule relates to amendment in which act? Well, 1961. 1961 is income tax, so you are able to answer. So if you adopt these kind of tips or tricks, I think then you will be able to memorize. Then the second module, which is a very focused module, my dear friends, is because case laws are very important. This is a 3-day program, 3-day module, which is there, 3 hours each, and they are at very comfortable timing from 5:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. All 59 cases are covered in this program. 17 of Supreme Court, 17 of NCLT, 17 of NCLAT, and 8 of High Court. All 59 cases are covered, and certain keywords are informed to you where you are able to remember certain these case laws. Because case laws is a base. Idea is not only to memorize by rote, idea is to understand by concept. If your concept is clear, my dear friends, you will be able to remember. That is my guarantee. I mean, that is what my passion is. That is what my focus is when we take those classes. And the third, of course, is allied laws and case study. This is our latest module, which has been created by Transition now, because there was a very popular demand, because people said, we want to practice case studies. We want to know about allied laws. Well, this is a program which can help you. This is the third module. All allied laws are covered, and 5 practice case studies, which are very complicated case studies, are given, and people get used to it. And I believe in one thing: if you can do a complicated thing, well, you can always do a simple thing, isn't it? So once you do a complicated case study, simple case studies are a cakewalk. If you have climbed Himalaya, well, you can always go to Shimla and other places by climbing them also. So that becomes much easier. So anyhow, friends, this is what is there. And any other questions, Anurag?
Yes, sir. Just a second, sir. Sorry. Yes, Mr. Nikunj is asking.
Sorry?
Yes, sir. Mr. Nikunj is asking, I have 16 years of experience in BFSI. Can I appear for the exam? I know that I cannot register as an IP, but I think it will give me more job prospects in banks or Big Four. Am I right?
Okay, see, there is another criteria for passing the exam, which is that if you have a graduate degree, and 15 years of experience in managerial capacity. So one is you have to be a professional with 10 years registration like CA, CS, cost accountant and advocate. But if you are simply a graduate, you can still pass limited insolvency. You are eligible for limited insolvency exam, provided you have 15-year experience managerial capacity. So you just look at that. If you have that capacity, I mean, in managerial capacity, then you will be able to take this exam and then you will be able to register also. I think I can, if we go from the beginning, I think, Anurag, there are some more questions which are there. Let's go one by one because let's answer those questions. This is very important. Yeah, Mr. Happy Jindal has asked up to 30th June 2019 is applicable up to how much time? Good question, Happy Ji. In fact, your name is also very happy. So we are very happy to hear that. Well, you will also be happy to know that right now this is valid. As far as the applicability is concerned, I can only tell you this, that IBBI came out with one of the regulations which said that whenever they want to change the syllabus, they will inform the public 3 months in advance. So right now that notification has not come. So therefore this is valid. But in case they want to change it, supposing they want to change it from say 1st of September, then they will they can't change it from 1st of September. They will, if supposing they come out with a notification on 1st of September, even then this syllabus will be valid from September, October, November. So it will be changed only from 1st December. So they'll have to give 3 months time in advance. That is what it is important. Okay, Arvindji is asking that I'm not good at learning by rote. How do I manage case laws? Well, Arvindji, keywords are the keys. Well, attend those case laws classes, or maybe you can take that book which I have written, Analysis of Cases for Limited Insolvency Examination. How that book can help, I'll tell you that. See, there are 59 cases and each case runs into 40 pages, 30 pages. Well, at the end of the day, you have to read 2,400 pages, which is not possible. What I have done in that book is that I have divided each case into 3 parts, and I call that as FIR. Facts, issues, ratios. What are the facts of the case? Very briefly, maybe in 3 paragraphs, 2 paragraphs, or half page. And then what are the issues involved in the case? They have been culled out and have been mentioned clearly. And then what was the ratio of that case? Ratio means what is the reasons you see for arriving at a particular decision. Decision is something else and ratio is something else. So once you understand in this manner, well, that book really helps you. And in that book, there are revisionary exercises, there are multiple choice questions which have been given, then there are test papers which are given there. Well, if you do that book thoroughly, you are bound to remember everything. That's my guarantee. In any case, if you want to attend case laws classes, I think you are most welcome to do that, where I take all 59 cases one by one and I tell you the keywords and I explain case laws in a matter of a story, in a manner of a story. Well, if you remember that story, you remember that case law. That is what these kind of things could be there. Okay, Jyotsna is asking how many hours of preparation is required. Jyotsna, 100 hours. And 100 hours, well, if your spouse permits, 4 hours per day, if you can devote every day, so 25 days. If you can devote more time, say 6 hours, so it is 16 days to 17 days. But ballpark figure is 100 hours, maybe you can take 30 days as preparation time or 25 days. What I suggest for those people who have not yet registered is go to IBBI's website, register yourself for that examination first, because you'll have to give your own Aadhaar card number and other numbers. So register that. And then you can book a slot, because you have to go to a center to take this exam. Book a slot and take a slot. Say today we are on say 4th of August. You can book a slot for say first week of September or 10th September or 15th September. And then you know that since you have to appear on 10th or 15th September, then you get 30 days or 35 days, then you can start working backwards and start devoting time. So 100 hours is a ballpark figure which are there. Okay, Arvindji is asking how helpful are the ICI casebook. Well, Arvindji, ICI casebook is actually not meant for limited insolvency examination. Those casebooks are general case law books, like whatever case laws have happened in IBC. Well, you will get confused if you read at this stage. They are useful when you start practicing. Right now, you have to concentrate only on 59 cases which have been notified by IBBI. This is important, friends. So you have to go only to those 59 cases. you can go to ICI casebook, but then you'll have to find out what are those case laws. And I don't know whether all those 59 cases are covered or not. That is there. Okay, when to enroll for class by sir and what is the fees? Anurag, can you answer this?
So for fees and other queries, the participants can visit to our website, that is www.transition.com. They have also posted the domain name of our website in the chat box, or they can also contact our sales representative, Mr. Naveen Khanna. His number is also posted in the chat box.
Okay, so what I can do is, Anurag, because I think we can share the screen of transition also so that people are really aware that where to go. So I think, friends, this is the transition website, right? And once you go there, click this tab, online training, you will find SureShot IP for limited insolvency exam. Now there are 3 modules: signature module, class case laws module, and allied laws module. And if you want to register for all the 3 modules together, I think they are coming out with some kind of a super combo plan. Go to the shop page. I think that will be really easier. Go to the shop page here. And from the shop page, you will be able to go to those kind of screens which are there. I mean, you will find that portion. Okay. What are the other in the chat box? We'll go in one by one. Yes. What is the annual schedule of exam and registration for the same? Well, Bridgie, there is no annual schedule. This exam is always on, in the sense that if the center is open near your place, because some places they are closed because of COVID. If they are open, you have to book a slot online. There is a calendar which comes, so you can book any slot anytime, because it's a 2-hour exam which is there. So you can book it anytime, but you can't book 2-3 slots at one time. Once you take that exam, supposing you are not able to pass the exam, only then you will be able to book the second slot. Okay. Registration is to be done on IBBI's website. I've already explained, my dear friends. Go to IBBI website, go to the examination tab, hit limited insolvency examination, click 1st July 2019. Then you will find 4 categories which will be there: syllabus, registration, and all those. So hit on registration, you will have to register there. Okay. What is your methodology of training? Yes, methodology of training is online, and it is very proactive, and it is very personal oriented. Well, you can ask questions through chat box. You can ask questions through your voice. Voice questions are also permitted. The syllabus is covered. All materials which are shown on the screen, they are provided to all the participants. Tips to remember, the charts which are prepared. So those kind of things which are there, which are done. Bridge Sharma ji is asking coaching fees and schedule. Well, schedule, as far as this is concerned, this is the transition website which you are seeing on the background. Well, if you go to the home page, you will always find a calendar. I think they have a calendar there. Yeah, you can just scroll down. This is the calendar. So in the calendar, you can see this is the signature program which is starting from 7th August. This is for 6 days. After a gap of 2 days, then there is a 3-day case law module. And after a gap of again 3 days, there is a 3-day case law, the allied laws module. So 12 days of intensive training. That means 12 into 3, 36 hours intensive training. In fact, it actually exceeds to more than 3 hours sometimes. So you'll get almost around 40 to 45 hours. Okay. So if we join signature module, is it required to join for case laws and allied laws? Well, that's your choice. See, the point is, if you are comfortable with signature module and you can do case laws on your own, well, that's your choice. But what I suggest is, because if you join like their combo program, which is there, then in the combo program, there is an advantage. The advantage is that you get 2 books free of cost that is included there, like my book, Analysis of Cases, and another practice exam book, which has been Transition has published. And you also get 5 online practice exams. These practice exams are very useful, friends. The practice exams are in the sense that you will get those 89 questions and similar kind of an environment which the IBBI gives. So it's like a mirror image of that IBBI exam. And IBBI has got a bank of 7,000-8,000 questions. Transition has got a bank of 25,000 questions. So if more you practice, in fact, that is what my key advice to all the people is: practice, practice, practice. Once you have studied fully, you have attended these programs, go to the practice, I can guarantee you, my dear friends, you are going to pass in first attempt and not with a score less than 70%. And it's not that, I mean, more than 60% is good enough. But the only thing is that if you score more, I mean, it increases your confidence, isn't it? Okay, Mr. Nagesh Babu is saying, good evening, Mr. Makija. Though we prepare the core law meticulously by noting the important key points from sections, rules, but what could be the methodology, strategy to prepare, remember, note the law points from case laws, case studies? Here we request your tips for easy remembrance. Okay, Nageshji, I think I mentioned to you, like, you have to remember there are 11 schedules. How to remember those 11 schedules? I told you in the minimum thing. You can remember it by saying 32, 44, 61, 62, 93, 94, 2, 3, 7, 8, 30. Well, this much you have to remember. These are your 11 schedules. And 32 stands for 1932. And the last 13 stands for 2013. 2013, you know, which is the act? Companies Act. So schedule number 11 is Companies Act. Schedule number 1 is Partnership Act. So these are the certain techniques which the tips which you will have to adopt, which are given during those classes also. So do that. And then you see, you have to remember the penalties. You have to remember timelines, like 14 days time, 10 days time, 7 days time, all these time limits, because questions are coming on time limits. Questions are coming on penalties. So try to standardize those penalties. If you start preparing charts, then you will be able to remember that most of the penalties are from 1 lakh to 1 crore. So it is easier to remember by exception. Form numbers. There are a lot of questions which come on form number. The claims have to be filed by operational creditors in which form number? And not only form number, because there is a schedule which is attached to regulation. They generally ask you the schedule number also. Form number A in schedule 1, form number A in schedule 2, form number A in schedule. Now, you know it is form, but you have not gone deeply in reading whether it is schedule 1 or schedule 2. Well, you will not be able to answer. So these are certain tips and tricks which we also inform you in those classes which is there. Okay. Does the signature module cover the other 2 modules? No, it doesn't cover. Signature module is only covering, that is a 6-day. It is covered in a super combo program. I mean, you go to the shop page. I think I just went there. Let me click that once again. You go to the shop page, you will find a super combo. Yeah, this is the one I was talking about. Sure Shot IP super combo. Well, if you click this, all the 3 modules are covered into this. Plus, you can see that you get 2 books here, and plus the insolvency practice exam, 5 practice exams. So go to the description which is mentioned there, and you can look at the reviews also which other people have done it for these courses. Okay, what about books? Is books available for sale? Yes, I mean, these books like Limited Insolvency, Analysis of Cases and Transition Insolvency Practice Exam, they are independently or also they are available of sale for that. Okay, Happy is asking again, recording of module is available? Yes, I think the recording is available. It is available. Anurag, can you tell me for how long you make available those recordings?
Sir, recordings for the signature module are available for 15 days, sir.
Okay, 15 days. So, friends, well, I always tell all those participants who attend that these are kind of live classes. So hear me very carefully. You have already heard me for say 6 days, like 18 hours. Why do you want to hear me again in a recording? So anyhow, but recordings are available. Like you have logged out at a particular time, internet was bad, or you were busy in some place, so you could not attend for 30 minutes. Well, those recordings will help you in doing that. Okay. Okay. Is training mandatory for giving exams? Sandeep, the training is not mandatory. It is self-study. You can do your self-study. You can take the exam. Here, yeah, the difference is because in valuation, registered valuer exam, 50-hour training is mandatory first, which is given by the registered valuer organization, RVO. But in limited insolvency, it is reverse. You have to pass LIE first, and then you have to attend 50-hour training, which is conducted by the IPAs, Insolvency Professional Agencies. We call it as pre-registration education course, 50 hours. Earlier, it was physical course for 7 days continuously, but nowadays IBBI has permitted, it is an online training. So once you pass LIE, you can join that online PREC syllabus, but that is mandatory because unless you do that, you will not be able to register yourself as an IP. Okay. Up to 30th June 2019 is valid up to, I think that I have already answered this. No, signature module does not only contain IBC. Don't get confused with that. In fact, we touch upon the like case laws. We don't cover 59 case laws, but I think we cover four or six case laws, just to give you a sample of this thing, that how to study cases. So those are really covered. It's not that it is not covered, and we tell you how to study case laws. Similarly, 2 or 3 allied laws are covered, like Limitation Act and Arbitration Act, and then guidance is given for how to study other case laws, other allied laws. So signature module covers all the entire syllabus, but allied laws and case laws are not covered in full detail, in the sense that all cases and all allied laws are not covered, but a guidance is given to a larger extent. But if you attend all the modules, well, then everything is covered. Then you can go with a greater confidence, which is there. Okay, I want to join signature course and will appear on 17th August for IBBI exam. Well, Deswalji, you can, the information has already been posted in the chat box. You can get in touch with Mr. Naveen Khanna, whose number is mentioned there, or just go to the transitions website, go for the signature module. You can independently join any module. You can join 2 modules, you can join 3 modules. But if you're wanting to join 3 modules, my suggestion will be go for Super IP combo. That will really, really help you. Is joining of webinar is mandatory? I don't know which webinar you are mentioning. If you're talking about this webinar or what kind of webinar, I don't know. Webinar is not mandatory for exam. It is up to you, sir. Okay, how to purchase book on case law? Well, go to Amazon.com, Talvanji. I think you can find that book, or you can come to the transition website, shop page. You will find that book there also. But that book, really, I'm telling you, it is nowadays. I've been told by publishers that this book is a very fast-selling item. They have very limited stock. It is not available on Amazon. Also, probably 1 or 2 sites only have it. So if you want to do it fast, because the moment they publish, say, some copies, 500 copies, it runs out very quickly. So that is what I've been told. But I believe on transition website, they have a few of them available. I think they are also running out very fast in this. How important is to study Baer Acts? Yes, that's a good question. In fact, I would suggest, my dear friends, to study only from Baer Acts, except for that case law book which I have suggested, because cases are running, otherwise they will be running into 2,400 pages. So that's a summary which you can read from that book. But as far as the other laws are concerned, don't take any book, just take Baer Act. And Baer Acts also, my dear friends, I can advise you, don't download from any website you find on Google. From where you have to download Baer Acts? Number 1, if you want to download IBC and related rules and regulations, go to IBBI's website. If you want to download, say, Companies Act and Limited Liability Partnerships Act, the best website is of mca.gov.in. And if you want to download other allied laws, download from niccode.in, which is a Government of India's website, niccode.in, right? This is the best website, my dear friends. And you will find the latest one, the most genuine one, and the most updated one. If you download from any other website like vakil.com or advocate.com or taxman.com, you are not sure whether they are updated, Baer Acts or not. So don't do that. Just download from niccode.in. That is the best website. Okay, you will find all Baer Acts of India, including Constitution of India. Okay, so is study material available at Okay, this is also a good question. See, ICI's IPAs are there. Like ICA has also got IPA. Similarly, CS Institute has got an IPA. Similarly, ICMA has got an IPA. Well, the material on the those websites was quite useful. I am using the word was. The reason is because that has not been updated. It is actually, you see, of the old syllabus. Some video. In fact, I also recorded one video. You will also find one of my videos there on IIP ICI website. But that video is an older video, and that was recorded 1.5 to 2 years back. After that, they have not revised it. So what will happen is you will get confused. They will, in the recordings, in the videos, you will hear something, but your Baer Act will say something else. You will get confused. So if you are looking at those videos, take it with a pinch of salt. That is what I can really say. So, but don't get confused. That is there. All the training programs provides books also. So if we buy books and later feel that training is essential, the books bought will get wasted as books will again be sent through this. So will discount be available? Well, Arvindji, I think Anurag can answer this. Anurag, the question really is that if some people have already bought books now with a combo program, you are giving 2 books free. So will you adjust the cost of those books when the people come for the Sure Shot combo program?
Yes, sir. Participants can also take individual modules or they can also take modules without books. That option is also available. So if the books are already there with the participants, they can choose with the modules and training without books as well.
No. See, with the Anurag. Okay, let me answer this because I know something about it. Like this is you can say the Sure Shot IP Super Combo. There are books are already included. If you already have the books, yes, I think you can speak to Mr. Naveen Khanna, whose number is there. Probably he will help you out in adjusting the whatever best is possible. Okay. Which one works best? Attend the transition course first, then read the bare acts, or first read the bare acts and then attend the course? Jyotsna, yes, again a good question. Attend the transitions course, and along with that, you see, because in the classes itself, we read a lot of bare acts. You read with me, right? So it really helps you in understanding the bare act. So if you have done one reading earlier than that, well, that is always good. But if you are reading along with me, you get a very good idea where to find what and what to read and what not to read. So I'll suggest that you take the transition course and then you start reading the bare acts. I think that will really help it. Okay. As individual practice, what opportunity of insolvency professional? Good question again. Well, people were really worried right now because of the deferment of section 7, 9 and 10 under IBC. But friends, let's not be disheartened with the temporary freeze of things. Well, the business is in any case down. As a chartered accountant, your business would also be down. So should we be afraid of all these things? So even as an insolvency profession is also facing the same problems as any other profession is facing right now. But let me tell you one thing. After the COVID is over, maybe we hope that it will be over in next 3 months, 6 months, or maybe maximum 1 year. The vaccine is going to come. So what happens after that? There will be flurry of cases because the people who have suffered during this, they are going to come for restructuring and other things. And as an insolvency professional, let's not look at that I will be only appointed as IRP or the RP or the liquidator, but you can act as a consultant. Supposing some resolution applicant wants to file a plan. Now, if you know more about IBC, you can really help him in drafting his resolution plan. Because you being a chartered accountant or a company secretary, you know how the figure works. You can be done. You can act as an advisor to bankers. You can act as an advisor to COC members. You can represent any COC member in the meeting itself. Well, there are huge opportunities. So, and part 3, part 3, which is not yet fully notified. I was attending one of the seminars. I mean, I was speaking at one of the seminar and one of the representative of IBBI, a senior person was there. And he told the audience at that stage that once part 3 is notified, he says today there are almost around 3,000 IPs who are registered. But once part 3 is fully notified, they said we will require 30,000 IPs. Imagine. So 10 times they are saying it will be required. Part 3 is not yet notified in full. So friends, once that is done, it will reach every corner of the country. So huge opportunities are there. Happy ji, be happy. I think you will get a huge. Okay, let me also share one thing. I think it will make you much more happier. Well, you are practicing as a CA or a company secretary or something like that. Fine. You are earning good money. I'm sure you must be. Let me give you a very ballpark figure. If you do a liquidation of a 10 crore company, I'm simply saying 10 crore. 10 crore is not a big company. You can sell the assets. You can distribute the money amongst the claimants. 10 crores within 6 months you can do. If you do it within 6 months, my dear friends, do you know how much fees you are going to earn? 33 lakh rupees. Just one case. Supposing you do 3 cases of liquidation. Imagine how much money you can earn. So this is the kind of the volume which is there. Of course, I mean, how many cases will come and how many things will happen, and also one more statistics will help you. out of the total number of cases which have come to NCLTs under IBC, 80% have gone into liquidation right now, and 20% have been resolved. In fact, this idea was reversed, that 80% should be resolved and 20% should go to liquidation. But unfortunately, the reverse has happened. So liquidation, now people are very happy. Yesterday, one of the RPs, a liquidator, approached me. Can you believe how many assets have that company got? 12,000 crores. And if they have to be liquidated, and if you get 0.25% of 12,000 crores, tell me what is that calculation? You guys are good in calculation more than me, isn't it? So imagine the kind of the money which can also be there. Okay, whether coaching is like recorded lectures or webinar model or one-to-one coaching, what if one drops or skips? Well, Bridge Sharmaji, it is actually online, training like we are doing right now. It will be in a similar manner. 3 hours continuously with 1 or 2 breaks, which will be there. You will be able to ask questions. You can be unmuted also. And if you skip 1 or 2 lectures, well, I'll not recommend skipping it, but because of some engagement or some emergency, then as Happy Ji also asked the question, recordings will be available to you for 15 days. So you can go back and recover that. But mark my words, friends, they are live lectures. Please attend them as if they're live. I mean, you are attending physically, because that will really help you in understanding. Okay, whether case laws and case study are included in signature module, I think I've already clarified. They are not, but they are covered briefly in those, like 4 or 6 case laws will be covered. 2 allied laws will also be covered, but then a guidance will be given how to study rest of the case laws and how to study rest of the allied laws. Okay. I have joined a short IP signature course. Can I change to combo plan? Yes, you are most welcome, Rajaji. You can definitely do that. And please get in touch with Mr. Naveen Khanna. His number has already been mentioned in the chat box 2-3 times. So talk to him. I think he'll be able to help you with that. What is the cost of the training after passing examination? Okay. Cost of training, earlier it was used to be very high, because it was a physical training, because they used to provide you lunch and all other teas during the whole the things, and they had to hire a place also. But today, since it is online, right? So I think they have reduced it to 50%. Earlier, they used to charge around, I think 35,000 rupees. Nowadays, I think they are charging, IPS are charging around 18,000 maximum. So it has come down drastically because of the online. So I think some good things have also happened in COVID, the pandemic, isn't it? So there is always a silver lining to the dark cloud. Okay. Then do we need to register for exam start before joining your course? No, you need not. Ashrita, you need not. You can join later on also, but joining, registering with IBBI will help you in booking a slot, because right now slots are very, very limited available. So as and when the slot is available, book that slot. Say 15 September is available, book it. Now you have a target that you have to pass the exam on 15 September, come back and study for next 1 month. But for joining the courses, you did not register. I can guide you in those courses also how to register. So we'll do that. Okay. I'm in government service as class 1 officer in audit department, having 25 years experience of auditing various banks and having qualification BCom LLB. Can I appear for this exam and practice as IP? Yes, sir. You are the most fit person. You have more than 10-year experience with the graduation also, and you have LLB also. So you are the fit person. But look at insolvency professional regulations also. Well, they say no disciplinary case or no disciplinary inquiry should be pending. Of course, I believe that would not be in your case. So definitely you are a fit person to join this. Go ahead, sir. I think I encourage everyone. Can you please share some insights on the career opportunities on becoming IP? Does clearing I will help in join in opportunity? I've already explained there are a lot of opportunities, not only acting as an IP, insolvency professional, resolution professional, bankruptcy trustee, liquidator, but you can also act as consultant. It will really give you credibility, and then people will believe in you, and you will be able to help them in drafting resolution plans, and then you can also conduct forensic audits, because once you know IBC provisions, you can conduct forensic audits also. You can help your friends. Like supposing 2 are IPs, one of your friend is an IP, he gets a case, he can appoint you as a forensic auditor. He can appoint you as an authorized representative. It's a class of creditor like home buyer's case. So those kind of things will definitely happen. A lot of opportunities are there. And even in jobs also a lot of opportunities are there, because now law firms and other consultancy companies or insolvency professional entities, well, they need people with good exposure. So that is also possible. Whether transition conducts all these training sessions every month? Yes, Balanji, good question. They are being conducted almost every month. In fact, earlier the frequency was even more than a month also. So in the last 3 months itself, I think 9 programs have been conducted, and transition has trained more than 500 to 600. And every day we are getting a news of somebody, 2, 3, 4 people passing on a daily basis. So that is there. Okay. Well, as far as the fees is concerned, friends, well, there is certain cost which is involved, isn't it? So anyhow, maybe you can talk to transition or Mr. Naveen Khanna. Well, that will be there. Which module IBC is covered? Signature module. IBC is covered in signature module. Very great detail. I mean, I'm telling you, we go by section. You become an expert. By the time I can say this, by the time you finish that course, you can also become a faculty, I'm telling you. So you get to know about each and everything about IBC, including the case laws. That will really help you in passing these exams. So friends, broadly, we have covered the details of qualifications, eligibility criteria, how to go about it, the signature, the programs which the transition conducts. But let me also give you a few tips. I think that those are very important, that tips should be there. Let me start a slide. Anurag, do we have more questions, or I can go to the tips part?
So we have a few more questions, sir. What is the pass percentage of people who take the classes? This is also one of the questions we have received privately.
Okay. Pass percentage, as I mentioned, that pass percentage for these people who have attended the classes is very high. In fact, I have to still come across a person who has scored less than 65. So 65 plus is the benchmark which I set for them. In fact, many have scored. Recently, one person has scored from Gujarat, from Ahmedabad, 80.5%. Another, yesterday I got a news, the person has scored 78.5%. So, and one of our, participants in the previous batches, he scored 86% from Chennai. So they are very high scoring. Of course, score does not matter. It's only a passing which matters. But the more you score, it gives you more confidence. That is the only idea that, you will get really do that. Okay, how soon should one appear for live after taking the training? Okay, that's a good question. See, this training is for, say, 12 days are consumed, and with a gap of 2 to 3 days, maybe you will take, say, around 20 days. Let's take a ballpark figure that from 7th to 27th, you will be busy. After 27th, give yourself 10 days. That's all, not more than 10, maybe 2 weeks. Let us say 2 weeks. So you are ready to take the exam on, say, 10th of September. So just give 2 weeks plus this training program. That is good enough. This is very important. Okay. Ramesh Bhandari is asking, IPA training happen every month? Oh, yes. You see, IPA training happens depending upon the number of persons. Well, Sure Shot has produced so many participants that within 1 month, 30, 40, 50 people pass, definitely. Well, and they need a maximum of 50 batches there. So if they get 40 plus, then IPS start doing that training. So generally speaking, yes, you are right. It is happening every month because it happened in last month also. It is going to happen in the month of August also. And I'm also one of the faculties. I mean, generally I'm called there. So I take a 5-hour session on NCLTs, appearing before NCLTs and NCLATs. So once you pass the exam, I'll see you again. So that is, you can expect me there also. And friends, as far as the tips are concerned, first of the tip I've already given. In fact, in my book, I've given, you see a separate page is there, which talks about tips for passing. The first tip which I can give you, and I've already stated, is read the code, rules and regulations from Bare Acts only. Case analysis from Analysis of Cases book, which I have given, which I have written. At least 3 readings are required. I tell all people, stop, look, and go. 3 readings are a must. Fourth tip, practice is the key. Practice, practice, practice. So take the practice exams. Now, coming to the actual examination, friends. If you are attempting an exam, a question comes where you do not know the answer. Completely blank. You have not read it. Leave that question. This is a great tip. Don't be greedy because there is a negative marking. Imagine you didn't know 20 questions and you attempted and all of them go wrong. 5 marks are gone. Even if you have scored 64, you will come back to 59. Don't do that, my dear friends. That is really, really, brought people down. So don't attempt those questions for which you are not sure about it. And if you do your own mathematics or arithmetic, you can easily leave. If I can show you that chart, you can easily leave 25 questions and still pass the exam. Do your own maths, sir. I think you'll be able to do that. Next tip, read the questions carefully. They are drafted in negative language. Instead of saying who can file, they will say who cannot file. Now, if you have missed cannot, well, your answer is going to go wrong. So please read the questions carefully. They are in negative form. Sometimes they're in double negative. Even the answer is also in a negative form. So if you have not read the question, well, that will be a problem. This examination, my dear, next step, this examination is of 2 hours. Now, time is sufficient. 89 questions, 2 hours, you have sufficient time. If you know the answer, my dear friends, you are going to click that answer in 10 to 15 seconds. Not more than 15 seconds you are going to take. If you do not know the answer, you can read it for 30 minutes and still not be able to answer it. So skip that question. So 120 minutes are good enough for 89 questions to answer. So don't be in a hurry. Read the question carefully, answer it. Allocate some more time for case analysis questions and case laws questions and case studies questions. Because case studies, what happens in a case study, you get a longer comprehension, say running into 1 page or 2 pages. And then 6 questions will follow. So read those case studies carefully. They'll provide you a pencil and a paper there. You can make your short notes there. Do that so that you don't have to read the case study time and again, because in minor sentences, they will hide certain facts in certain sentence. So it is important. Like, I'll give you an example. In part 3, to start a fresh start, there is a certain criteria. There is certain quantitative criteria, income criteria, that income of a person should not be more than 60, gross annual income should not be more than 60,000 rupees. Well, now they will hide the facts. They'll say the person is earning income of, say, 6,000 a month, and he was employed for 9 months. Now 9 into 6 is 54, which is less than 60. So you'll have to do those calculations also. Quick mental calculations may be required for that. So, I mean, in our case studies module, we help you in understanding those. And the next tip is that when you are reading, and this is a great tip I'm giving you, my dear friends, when you are reading the act, the code, the rules or regulations, concentrate on explanations and provisos. Some sections contain an explanation at the end. Like a section is very long, 7 subsections are there, and at the end there will be 2-liner explanation is there. I'm sure you are bound to miss that. And this is the tip which I can give you. Where you feel that you don't want to read it, please read that portion. Okay, so don't skip explanations and provisos. Maximum questions are being drafted from that particular area. And the last tip, my dear friends, I can give you is that memorize the time limits, memorize punishments and offenses, as many questions are based on that. Even form numbers, they are actually based on that. So it's a combination of both the memorization part and understanding of concept part, which is there. So strategize this, my dear friends. I think it will really help you and you will be able to, go ahead with this. Now, Arvindji is asking a question, will the signature module help in case studies? Yes, sir. Because there is one case study which is done in signature module also, and it gives you a feel of those case studies. But if you really want to get a hang of the more of the case studies, well, there are practice exams which are available, or otherwise you can join that case studies module where 5 complicated case studies are also done. So it actually trains you in a perfect manner. And I'm sure not only limited insolvency exam, friends, once you become an IP, you will be very, very confident. I'm telling you, if you move in that circle of insolvency professionals, you'll be able to discuss with them in a greater detail. So this is what is all about. Anurag, if you have any other questions, otherwise we can wind it up now.
Yes, sir. I think we can wind up the webinar for today. There are no questions in the chat box as well.
Okay, so you want to say anything, closing remarks?
Yes, sir. I'll start by thanking you, sir, for today's webinar. Thank you very much.
Okay, Anurag, just before you start, I think, friends, I can show you this, the cover of the book, which I can show you. This is the book of analysis of cases for limited insolvency examination. So this is what I wanted to show. The rest you can read from bare acts like these, like Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code, bare acts. So maybe you can download those versions. But I prefer, being a conventional person, I prefer books rather than the downloaded ones which are there. So Anurag, over to you now. And I must thank each one of the participants who have attended this webinar. I think, friends, go for this. And I can really tell you that you will feel so much confident once you become an insolvency professional. Over to you, Anurag.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the webinar. It was very enlightening and encouraging for all of us. And I believe all the participants are determined to become an insolvency professional after attending this webinar. So thank you very much, sir. I would also thank all of you friends on behalf of Transition for attending the webinar today. It was a pleasure for us to have you all. And I wish all the very best for your goal of becoming an insolvency professional and wish all of you great success. Thank you. Take care. Safe.
Thank you.